Oh boy. Oh boy. I tried to be fair. I tried to give something a chance. I'm not like one of those people who hear that something's bad and just talk shit about it or just say, oh, horror movies of today suck, unless I go out there and watch as many as I can. This one I could say, without a doubt, because I just got done watching Winchester, that it absolutely sucks. Winchester is a 2018 horror film that I guess is based on true events. I guess. It is directed by Michael and Peter Sparig, the Sparig brothers. I say based on a true story because this is based on the Winchester Mansion, which was this house that was built by Sarah Winchester back in the early 1900s. And supposedly the rifles and the guns in the house were used to kill people, and then those people, I think I have this right, those ghosts stayed around the mansion and haunted it and possessed it and just did some messed up stuff there. I guess it had every reason to be good. It had more than every reason to be good. You have Helen Mirren, of all actresses that you could have casted as Sarah Winchester. Helen Mirren is one of the best, is one of the most inspired casting because she's a great actress, she's well established, she's a name that you hear and you instantly think class, and maybe we'll have at least more time, effort, and care put into this. And you almost wonder, what was the pitch? How did they convince her to even read the script for this movie? I guess because it's based on a true person and it's an old time setting, and so maybe they convinced her. They hooped her in, but not just her. Jason Clarke. We have Jason Clarke, who's in this film as Dr. Eric Price, and Jason Clarke is trying. He is, bless his heart, he's trying to give a great performance. He is giving a good performance. It's just everything around him, the material, the pacing, the story itself is so bland, so dull, so blah, 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 blah. There's nothing here. There's no substance to it. You just feel like you're sitting here watching jump scare galore. My favorite thing about horror movies, right? Jump scares. Constantly he's looking in the mirror and it's moving by itself, and of course you're just sitting there waiting like, yeah, something's gonna pop out. Oh look, something popped out. Surprise, surprise. And constantly he's looking in a window or he's looking over at something and he sees something, and so they have the music go da 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 da. It's not scary, people. Jump scares are not scary. They can be scary if you have maybe two of them in a movie and you have it build up to the suspense level. Like, look at The Conjuring. This movie tries so hard to be The Conjuring in so many ways. The jump scares are definitely that. It's just lazy. It's just, they knew they didn't have a story. They knew they didn't have anything else going on for it, so they just threw in a bunch of random jump scares that don't have build up, that just happen. It's some of the worst horror tropes, some of the worst horror cliches, current horror cliches that we just can't seem to get past. Once in a while we get lucky, but this was not the case. Like I said, Jason Clarke has this backstory of him and his wife, and something happened with her and she ended up dying. He took a bullet and died for 3 minutes. So there's some interesting stuff with him somehow possibly being connected to the other world or seeing the dead because of that, but it's just not explored enough. Like one or two scenes, and then that's it. The rest of the film is surrounding around, well, Sarah Winchester, like I said, although even she doesn't have a lot to do. She doesn't. She's really just here as the eldest, as the person who I guess knows everything that's going on, but it's really about her great nephew, I think, is the connection, or grandson, or whatever it is. This little boy who's constantly being possessed, but even the moments when he's possessed just are random. There's no build up to it. There's no time spent with this kid for me to care that he's being possessed, that he's doing these dumb and evil things. His mother, is played by Sarah Snook, who I'm not familiar with the actress. She was alright, but honestly, I didn't even get enough urgency out of her. I didn't get a sense of her being just deathly afraid for her son. Her son's doing some messed up stuff here with a shotgun or his eyes turning white and him spacing out, and she just reacts the way like, well, I guess this is how I'm supposed to react, instead of any realism. You even had Angus Sampson, if you might remember that guy from the Insidious movies. But no, his character means nothing. Almost all of these characters mean nothing. By the end of it, I couldn't believe how much of a waste of time it was. By the end of it, I couldn't believe how non-threatening everything felt, how thrown together all these scenes felt, how quick the climax of the movie happened, and how I didn't care about any of the characters or if anyone died. This is horrible. Writing-wise, directing-wise, I honestly thought this was directed by amateurs. And you could almost give it a pass or an excuse if this was a first-time directing thing, but it's not. The Spierig brothers have been around for a while. They've been writing for a while and directing for a while. I've only seen a couple of their movies, but Daybreakers is actually a decent film. It's not great, but it's decent. But their last movie that they directed was Jigsaw, and that explains a whole lot else to me. It's the only Saw movie that I hate. So this film, obviously a disappointment. I'm giving it a some old bullshit.
Man, this some old bullshit.
Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you too was unlucky enough to see Winchester. I doubt it, because it made next to nothing in the box office and had like a $3 million budget. All of that must have went to paying the actors, because it's not shown on screen. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.